You feel it every morning, don't you? That invisible clock ticking against your throat. Another 19-year-old millionaire on your feet. Another friend buying a house. You feel sick. You feel late. But listen to me closely. That sickness isn't ambition. It is weakness. You are trying to force a flower to bloom in dead winter. Stop running. It is time to learn the law of Oubaitori.
Chapter 1. The Weight of Other People's Seasons. If you are weak, leave now, because what I'm about to tell you will burn. You scroll, you see them. The 22-year-old with the Lambo, the college dropout with the crypto empire, the girl from high school, married, mortgage paid, Bali vacation every quarter. And you? You're eating instant ramen in a studio apartment, pretending the walls aren't closing in. You tell yourself you're happy for them. Liar, you're rotting from the inside. Every success story is a knife. Every congratulations you type is blood in your mouth. You're not celebrating, you're drowning. And the worst part? You think it's your fault. You think you're slow, broken, cursed. You measure your worth in their milestones, and you come up short every single time. Here's the truth they won't tell you. You are not behind. You are being destroyed by a disease called comparison. And comparison, real comparison, doesn't measure progress. It measures pain. You're bleeding because you're trying to win a race you were never meant to run. You're a cherry blossom trying to bloom like a plum tree, and it's killing you. Let me tell you what happens to a man who lives like this. He wakes up at 6 a.m. not because he's ambitious, but because anxiety won't let him sleep. He checks his phone before his feet touch the floor. Instagram first, LinkedIn second, Twitter third. And with every scroll, the weight gets heavier. Someone just closed a funding round. Someone just bought their second property. Someone just quit their job to travel the world on passive income. And him, he's about to sit in traffic for an hour to make someone else rich. He tells himself he'll catch up. Next year, next quarter, next month. But next never comes, because the finish line keeps moving. When he makes 50K, they're making 100K. When he saves 10K, they're investing 100K. When he finally buys a used car, they're posting keys to a Tesla. The game is rigged. Not because the system is against him, but because he's playing someone else's game entirely. Do you know what this does to a soul? It hollows it out. He stops dreaming. He starts coping. He tells himself money doesn't matter. He tells himself material things are shallow. He tells himself he's focusing on experiences, while secretly hating everyone who doesn't have to choose between experiences and rent. The lie becomes his identity, and the identity becomes a cage. But here's what's really happening underneath all that noise. He's not just comparing bank accounts. He's comparing timelines. He's comparing seasons. He's 28 and thinks he should have what the 35-year-old has. He's 35 and thinks he should have what the 40-year-old inherited. He's 40 and thinks he should have what the 25-year-old lucked into with Bitcoin. He's lost in everyone else's clock. And his own time? It's bleeding out. Uncounted. Unseen. Wasted. The ancient Stoics had a word for this. Acedia. Spiritual sloth. Not laziness. Worse. It's the exhaustion that comes from caring about the wrong things, from spending your finite energy on infinite comparisons, from trying to be everywhere and everyone except here and yourself. It's the sickness of a man who forgot what his own race looks like because he's too busy watching everyone else's highlight reel. And the cruelest part, the people he's comparing himself to are doing the same thing. The guy with the Lambo is comparing himself to the guy with the yacht. The guy with the yacht is comparing himself to the guy with the private jet. The guy with the private jet is comparing himself to the guy who doesn't need to fly anywhere because he owns the island. There is no top. There is no finish line. There is only an endless treadmill of envy disguised as ambition. So he runs faster, He works harder, he hustles, he grinds. He sacrifices sleep, health, relationships, joy. All for what? To finally feel like he's caught up? To finally feel like he's enough? But enough is a moving target when you're measuring yourself against other people's victories. Enough is impossible when your ruler is everyone else's success.
And then one day he wakes up, not with hope, with nothing. The weight is still there, the clock is still ticking, but something inside him has gone quiet. Not peaceful, just empty. He realizes he's been running for 10 years and he's exactly where he started. Tired, angry, alone. Because he was never running towards something, he was running away from the feeling of being left behind. And you can't outrun a feeling. You can only face it or let it devour you.
This is where most men break. They medicate. Alcohol, porn, weed, video games. Anything to numb the ticking. Anything to forget that they're 30, 35, 40, and still feel like they're waiting for life to start. They become ghosts in their own story, extras in everyone else's movie. And the saddest part? They'll do this for decades. They'll die having never bloomed. Not because they couldn't, but because they spent their whole lives trying to bloom like someone else. You are that man, or you're about to become him. And the only thing standing between you and that fate is a choice. Not a big one, not a dramatic one, just this. Stop measuring your winter against their spring. Stop trying to grow fruit in the wrong season. Stop comparing roots to flowers. Because you are not them. You are not their timeline. You are not their advantages or their luck or their inheritance. You are you. And that is either your curse or your salvation. The choice is yours. Chapter 2. The Japanese know something you don't. In Japan, there is a word, Oubaitori. It comes from 4 trees, the cherry, plum, peach, and apricot. 4 trees, 4 seasons, 4 different timelines. The cherry blooms in March, the plum in February, the peach in April, the apricot in May. And here's what matters. The cherry doesn't curse the plum for flowering first. The peach doesn't burn itself trying to match the apricot's timeline. They simply exist, each in its time, each perfect in its unfolding. This isn't poetry. This is philosophy. This is the difference between a life lived in agony and a life lived in alignment. The Japanese understand something the West has forgotten. Time is not universal. Progress is not linear, and comparison is not measurement. It is violence. The samurai knew this in their bones. They trained for decades, not years, decades, before they earned the right to carry 2 swords. Some trained for 30 years before they were considered masters. Some died before mastery. Did they feel behind? No, because they didn't measure themselves against the merchant's son who inherited gold. They didn't measure themselves against the warlord's nephew who was born into power. They measured themselves against one thing, yesterday's version of themselves. One cut cleaner, one breath steadier, one fear conquered. That was progress. Not wealth, not status, not comparison, just the slow, agonizing, beautiful work of becoming sharper than you were the day before. That's the way of the sword, and it's the only way that doesn't destroy you. But you weren't raised this way. You were raised in the West, in the land of leaderboards and rankings and scorecards. Your parents compared you to the neighbor's kid. School ranked you, sports ranked you, college ranked you. And now social media has turned your entire life into a public performance where everyone is watching and everyone is judging and everyone is winning, except you. You've been taught that there is one timeline, one path, one definition of success. Graduate at 22, married at 25, house at 28, kids at 30, retire at 65. And if you deviate from that script even slightly, you're falling behind, you're failing, you're less than. But here's the truth they don't want you to know. That script was written by people who died 50 years ago. It doesn't account for recessions, or pandemics, or the death of pensions, or the rise of the gig economy, or the fact that a house costs 10 times what it used to, and wages haven't moved in 40 years.
The script is broken, but you're still trying to follow it, and it's killing you. The Japanese have another concept, ma. It means negative space, the pause between notes, the silence between words, the emptiness that gives shape to form. In Western thought, emptiness is failure. In Eastern thought, emptiness is potential. It's the space where growth happens. It's winter. It's the root going deep while the world above stays frozen and still.
You are in Ma right now, and you think it's death, but it's not. It's preparation. It's the silence before the song, the darkness before the bloom. But you can't see that because you're too busy watching everyone else's spring and hating yourself for still being in winter.
Let me tell you a story. In feudal Japan, there was a swordsman named Miyamoto Musashi. He fought his first duel at 13. He won. He fought 60 more duels in his lifetime. He won them all. He became the greatest swordsman in Japanese history. But here's what they don't tell you. He didn't write his masterpiece, the Book of Five Rings, until he was 60 years old. 60. He spent 47 years after his last duel living in a cave, alone, painting, writing, thinking, mastering himself.
Was he behind? No. He was in his season. His early season was the sword. His late season was the mind. Both were necessary. Both were perfect. And if he had tried to write his book at 20, it would have been garbage, because he wasn't ready. The roots weren't deep enough yet.
You are not ready yet either, and that's okay. Ready doesn't mean old, it means rooted. It means you've done the work in the dark that no one sees. It means you've bled in silence and grown in winter and trusted the process even when the process felt like death. That's what the law of Oubaitori teaches, not patience. Patience is passive. This is active. This is trust. Trust that your season is coming. Trust that your bloom will be different. Trust that different is not less.
But trust requires something from you. It requires you to stop watching them. Not forever, just first. Before you check their garden, you check yours. Before you measure their height, you measure your depth. Because trees don't compete on height alone. Some grow tall, some grow wide, some grow deep. And the deepest trees survive the longest. They weather the storms. They outlast the fast bloomers. They become legend. You want to be legend? Then stop trying to bloom in February when you're a May tree. Stop trying to grow apples when you're an oak. Stop trying to be them when the world needs you to be you. Because here's the secret. The world doesn't need another cherry blossom. It has a million of those. What it needs is the thing only you can become, the shape only your roots can take, the fruit only your branches can bear. But you'll never know what that is if you spend your whole life trying to be someone else. The law of Oubaitori is not permission to be lazy. It's not an excuse to give up. It's a command to stop wasting your energy on the wrong race and start pouring it into the right one. The race against yesterday. The race against your own potential. The race to become the fullest version of yourself before you die. That's the only race that matters, and it's the only race you can actually win.
Chapter 3. The Mirror Moment. You are the man in the empty field.
Stop. Look at me. You are the man in the empty field, the one watching the parade, the one who thinks he's late. This is your life, right now, not theirs, yours. And every second you spend watching their bloom is a second you steal from your own roots.
Do you understand what I'm saying? You are not an observer. You are not the audience. You are the tree, and trees don't watch, they grow. But you've forgotten how to grow because you've been too busy watching. You've turned your life into a spectator sport, and spectators don't win. They just clap for people who do. Here's the uncomfortable truth. You're addicted to comparison. It's not a habit. It's an addiction. You get a hit of dopamine every time you check their profile. You get a hit of cortisol every time you see their success. And your brain has learned to crave both. The high of hope, maybe I can do that too, and the low of despair, but I never will. You're riding that wave all day, every day, and it's destroying you. But here's what's worse. You know it's destroying you, and you do it anyway. Because the pain of comparison is familiar, and the silence of your own work is terrifying. It's easier to scroll than to sit with yourself. It's easier to hate them than to face your own stagnation. It's easier to stay small and blame the world than to grow and take responsibility for your own bloom.
So let me ask you a question, and I want you to answer it honestly, not out loud, not to me, to yourself, in the silence where the truth lives. Here it is. If no one was watching, would you still want the things you think you want? If there was no Instagram, no flex, no audience, would you still care about the car, the house, the watch, the vacation? Or are you chasing these things because you think they'll finally make you feel like you've caught up?
Be honest, because if the answer is the latter, you're not chasing success, you're chasing validation. And validation is a drug that never satisfies. You can have the car and still feel empty. You can have the house and still feel late. You can have the money and still feel like you're not enough. Because enough isn't a number, it's a state of being. And you can't buy your way into that state. You have to grow your way into it. Do you know what happens to a seed that tries to bloom too early? It dies. Do you know what happens to a tree that compares itself to the forest? It forgets to grow. You are doing both. You are burning yourself out trying to match their spring while you're still in winter. And winter isn't failure. Winter is preparation. Winter is when the roots go deep, when the trunk thickens, when the tree learns to withstand the wind. Without winter, there is no spring. Without roots, there is no bloom. You are not behind. You are underground, and underground is where all real growth happens.
But you can't see that, because you've been conditioned to believe that only the visible matters, only the bloom, only the fruit, only the flex. But the bloom is temporary. The fruit rots, the flex fades. What lasts? The root, the trunk, the strength that no one sees but everyone feels when they stand in your shade. That's what you're building. Not a highlight reel, a foundation. And foundations are built in the dark.
Here's the cut. You don't need their timeline. You need yours. The 19-year-old millionaire, he's a plum tree. Early bloom, fast, flashy. But plum trees don't live long. They burn bright and die young. You might be a cherry, late, slow. But when you bloom, the world stops. Entire festivals are built around your bloom. People travel across the planet just to see you flower for 2 weeks. Or maybe you're an oak. No flowers at all. Just strength, just shadow, just a trunk so thick it takes 4 men to wrap their arms around it. And that oak lives for 300 years. It shelters generations. It becomes legend. That's not behind. That's a different game entirely.
But you'll never know what kind of tree you are if you keep trying to be someone else's tree. You'll never know your bloom if you keep chasing theirs. And the tragedy is this: you could be magnificent. You could be the tree that changes the landscape. But you'll die a sapling because you spent your whole life wishing you were something else.
So here's the mirror. Here's the moment. You are not them. You will never be them. And that is not a curse. That is the entire point. You are you. And you are either going to accept that and grow into it, or you're going to spend the rest of your life resenting it. The choice is yours. But know this: resentment doesn't grow trees. Acceptance does. Discipline does. Patience does. And most of all, Focus does. Focus on your own soil, your own roots, your own season. Because the only thing standing between you and your bloom is the energy you're wasting on theirs.
You are the man in the empty field, but the field is only empty because you've been looking outward instead of inward. Turn around, look down. The seed is there. It always has been. It's just waiting for you to stop ignoring it. It's waiting for you to water it, feed it, protect it, and most importantly, trust it. Trust that it knows when to bloom. Trust that it knows how to bloom. Trust that your bloom, whenever it comes, will be exactly what the world needs. Even if it's not what you thought you wanted. Even if it's not what they have. Even if it's late.
Late is not the same as never. Remember that, and start growing. Chapter 4. The ridiculously small step. Kill the comparison. Feed the root.
So what do? Tomorrow morning, when that clock starts ticking against your throat again, you do this. You close the app. Not forever, just first. Before you scroll, you ask one question. Am I better than I was yesterday? Not better than them, than you. Did you save $10 more? Did you learn one new skill? Did you wake up 10 minutes earlier and sit in silence instead of panic?
This is the law of Oubaitori in practice. You stop watering their garden. You water yours, one drop at a time. The samurai didn't wake up thinking about the merchant. He woke up thinking about the cut. Sharper, cleaner, truer. You do the same. Your cut is your savings account, your discipline, your craft, your body, your mind. These are your roots. And roots don't grow in the light of someone else's success. They grow in the dark, in silence, in patience.
Let me break this down into something you can actually do. Because philosophy without action is just cope. And you don't need more cope. You need a system, a ritual, a daily practice that rewires your brain from comparison to cultivation. Here it is. Simple, brutal, effective. Step 1. You wake up. Before your feet hit the floor, before you reach for your phone, you take 3 deep breaths. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Slow, deliberate. This is not meditation. This is recalibration. You're reminding your nervous system that you are not in danger. You are not late. You are here, now, present, alive. That's all that matters.
Step 2. You do not touch your phone for the first hour. I don't care if it kills you. I don't care if you feel like you're missing out. You are missing out on their chaos, on their noise, on their highlight reel that makes you feel like garbage before your day even starts. That first hour is sacred. It belongs to you, not them, not your boss, not the algorithm, you. And you're going to use it to build one root. Step 3. You choose one thing. Not 10 things, one. One thing you will do today that makes you better than you were yesterday. Maybe it's writing 200 words. Maybe it's doing 20 push-ups. Maybe it's reading 10 pages. Maybe it's saving $5. It doesn't matter what it is. What matters is that it's yours. It's not impressive. It's not Instagram worthy. It's not going to make anyone else think you're successful, but it's going to make you stronger. And strength compounds. Slowly, invisibly, until one day you wake up and realize you're not the same person you were a year ago. This is how trees grow. Not all at once, not in bursts, not in sprints. Slowly, consistently, daily. The oak doesn't add 10 feet in a day. It adds a millimeter. But it does it every single day for 100 years. And then it's the oak. Unshakable, unkillable, legend. You do the same. But here's where most people fail. They start. They do the thing for 3 days, maybe a week, and then they check their phone. They see someone else's result, someone who's been doing it for 5 years, someone who had a head start, someone who got lucky, and they think, what's the point? I'm so far behind. This will never work. And they quit. not because the system failed, but because they went back to the comparison. They watered someone else's garden again, and their own root died.
Don't be that person, because here's the truth. You are going to want to quit. You are going to want to check. You are going to want to compare. That urge doesn't go away. It's hardwired. It's evolutionary. Your brain is designed to measure yourself against the tribe. That's how humans survived for 200,000 years. But you're not trying to survive anymore. You're trying to thrive. And thriving requires you to override the ancient code, to choose focus, to choose depth over distraction, to choose your season over theirs. So when the urge comes, and it will come, you pause, you breathe, and you ask the question again, am I better than I was yesterday? If the answer is yes, you move forward. If the answer is no, you don't spiral, you don't shame yourself, you just do the thing, right then. In that moment, you write the 200 words, you do the 20 push-ups, you read the 10 pages, you save the $5, you build the route, and you move on.
This is the ridiculously small step. It's not sexy, it's not flashy, it's not going to get you likes or followers or applause, but it's going to save your life. Because every time you choose your route over their bloom, you reclaim your power. Every time you close the app and open the book, you take back your time. Every time you ask, am I better than yesterday? Instead of, why am I not like them? You rewire your brain, slowly, invisibly, until one day, comparison doesn't hurt anymore. It just doesn't matter. And here's the secret they don't want you to know. The people you're comparing yourself to, they're dying inside too. They're just better at hiding it. Their Lambo has a loan. Their house has a second mortgage. Their smile has cracks. You don't see the winter they survived to bloom. You only see the flower. And you hate yourself for not being a flower yet. Stop. You're still root. And root is sacred. The samurai understood this. They didn't train for applause. They trained for mastery. And mastery is invisible. It's the 10,000 cuts no one sees, the 10,000 breaths no one counts, the 10,000 mornings you chose discipline over comfort. That's the root. That's the game. And the only way to win is to stop playing theirs and start playing yours. So tomorrow morning, you have a choice. You can scroll, you can compare, you can bleed, or you can close the app, ask the question, build the route. One drop, one day. One step. The choice is yours. But know this, your season is not determined by when you start. It's determined by whether you stop. Don't stop, and your bloom will come. Chapter 5, The Final Truth. Your season is coming. Listen to me one last time. Your season is coming, not theirs, yours. And when it comes, it won't look like theirs. It won't smell like theirs. It won't taste like theirs, because you are not them. You are you. And that is not a weakness. That is the entire point. The law of Oubaitori says this: stop running their race. Stop bleeding in their season. Stop measuring your winter against their spring. You are not behind. You are on time. Your time. And the only question that matters is this: when your season comes, and it will come, will you be ready? Or will you still be staring at their garden, wondering why your seeds didn't bloom? The choice is yours. But know this, every second you waste comparing is a second you could have been growing. And growth doesn't care about fairness. It doesn't care about their head start. It only cares about what you do today, right now, in this moment. So close the app, water the root, and trust the process. Your season is coming, but only if you stop chasing theirs. Let me tell you what your season looks like. It doesn't look like a lottery win. It doesn't look like overnight success. It doesn't look like a viral moment or a lucky break or a magic shortcut. It looks like Tuesday. It looks like another morning where you wake up and do the thing. Another rep, another page, another dollar saved, another choice to focus on your garden instead of theirs. That's the season. Not the bloom, the preparation, the root, the work no one sees.
That's where mastery lives. That's where legends are born.
And here's what happens when you embrace that truth. You stop being fragile. You stop being desperate. You stop being the man who needs validation from strangers on the internet to feel like his life has meaning. You become solid, grounded, rooted. You become the kind of person who doesn't flinch when someone else wins because you know your win is coming. Not because you're arrogant, but because you've done the work. You've watered the root. You've trusted the season. And now you're just waiting for the soil to give back what you've put in.
But here's the part they don't tell you. The part that separates the ones who bloom from the ones who die as seeds. Your season will not look like you imagined. It will be different, maybe smaller, maybe later, maybe in a completely different form, and you will have to accept that. You will have to let go of the fantasy, the vision of yourself at 25 with the Lambo and the watch and the girl and the applause. That might not be your season. Your season might be at 40 or 50 or 60. Your season might not be wealth. It might be wisdom. It might not be fame. It might be peace. It might not be loud. It might be quiet. But it will be yours, and it will be perfect, if you let it.
This is where most people break. They do the work, they build the root, they wait for spring. And then spring comes, but it doesn't look like they thought it would. So they think they failed. They think the system lied to them. They think they wasted their time. And they quit right before the bloom, right before the payoff, right before the moment when all that invisible work finally becomes visible. Don't be that person. Because the bloom is not the reward. The root is. The bloom is just proof that the root was real.
The Stoics called this amor fati, love of fate. Not acceptance, love. You don't just tolerate your season. You love it. You love the slowness. You love the silence. You love the fact that no one is watching because it means you're free to grow without performance. You love the pain because it means you're being forged into something stronger. You love the winter because it makes the spring sacred. That's the mindset. That's the shift. That's the difference between a man who blooms and a man who rots.
And here's the final truth. The one that will either save you or destroy you, depending on what you do with it. You don't need their permission. You don't need their approval. You don't need their timeline or their definition of success or their applause. You need yours. And the only person who can give you that is you. Not your parents, not your friends, not society, not the algorithm. You. You are the one who decides when you've bloomed. You are the one who decides what success looks like. You are the one who decides whether your season was worth it.
So stop asking the world to validate you. Stop asking them to notice you. Stop asking the universe to give you a sign that you're on the right path. The sign is this: you're still here. You're still growing. You're still choosing your root over their bloom. That's the sign. That's the proof. That's the only validation you need. And if you can't see that, it's not because the sign isn't there. It's because you're still looking in the wrong direction. Turn inward, not in some mystical, spiritual way, but in a practical, tactical, ruthless way. Turn inward and ask, what do I control? Your thoughts, your actions, your focus, your time, your energy. That's it. That's all you control, and that's all you need. Because if you master those 5 things, your season is inevitable. It has to come. It's a law of nature. You plant the seed, you water the root, you trust the season. The bloom comes. It always comes. Maybe not when you want, maybe not how you want, but it comes. And when it does, you will understand. You will look back at this moment right now, where you're struggling, where you're comparing, where you're doubting, and you will see it for what it was. Not failure, not delay, not punishment, preparation. The winter that made your spring possible. The root that made your bloom legendary. And you will be grateful, not in spite of the wait, because of it.
Your season is coming, but only if you stop chasing theirs. Only if you close the app and water the root. Only if you trust that a cherry blossom never apologizes for blooming late. It just blooms. So will you. When the time is right, when the roots are deep, when the season is yours, not theirs, yours. And that will be enough. It has to be, because it's all you have, and it's everything.
Now go. Your season is waiting.
If you are still watching, you are not weak. You are ready. So tell me in the comments, what is the one small thing you will do today to stop comparing and start growing? One thing. No excuses, no grand plans. Just one root, 1 inch deeper. Write it. Make it real. And remember, a cherry blossom never apologizes for blooming late. It just blooms.
Now go. Your season is waiting.